Last week I made a video saying that there were 9 places in the world that I would never tune into as a psychic medium, and one of them was my childhood home that I grew up in that was haunted. I changed my mind. I ended up having to go up to Auckland last week for my uncle's funeral. Sadly, he passed away, and I was staying in an Airbnb on my own with a rental car, and I think just because my uncle was such a big part of the nicest part of my childhood, I started to feel really nostalgic, and I wanted to go and see my old childhood home. And I just sort of thought while I was there, may as well make some content. I don't know. I don't even know if anyone will want to see this. But what I'll do is I'll share some of the things that happened in that home for myself and my family while growing up there. And if you're bored, or if you've seen, if you've seen me talk about that already on a TikTok video, just skip ahead to the footage where I'm in the car, and that's the real life time of me going to tune into this childhood home of mine. Hi Rue. Hi sweetie. You just want to be part of this, do you? So starting off with my whole family, we never really talked about what we experienced there until we'd all moved out. I don't know if that's just because my sisters and my mum knew that I'd seen more spirits than most and they didn't want to scare me, or if maybe we were all just living in a bit of denial. But once we moved out when I was 18 and headed down to uni, we kind of all got together and talked about the things that happened. I just remembered a really big thing, and I'm glad I've got a photo of it. I've got photos of my childhood home too, so I can show you the areas in which this stuff happened. I will start with each family member and tell you what they experienced, and then I'll share what I experienced. So my mum actually experienced a lot. Starting from before I was born, she and my dad would hear footsteps running up and down the hallway while my older sisters were asleep in their beds. My mum and dad would get up from watching TV and go check on the girls because they could hear these footsteps and laughing, I think. And both were asleep in their beds. My dad said he thought it was sounds coming from a culvert 500 meters down the road, but I tried to look for that culvert when I was there last week and I didn't see any, so I don't know if that theory fits. As I grew up, my mum started experiencing more things. One night she saw a woman in old Victorian style dress walk out of it's not an archway actually, just of this doorway across from my bedroom doorway. It was the doorway to our lounge. She saw a woman walk from there into her bedroom and into her ensuite. And I remember I stayed either in my mum's bed with her or on the floor next to her bed, literally just lying on the floor with a duvet until I was 16, because I was just so terrified of all the things I'd seen in that house. And I remember lying there and just waiting to see this old Victorian woman, which I never really did. My mum also said that in the same spot she saw a young girl with brown hair in a white nightie standing outside my bedroom doorway. She said that she had pigtail plaits that were on top of her head like that, quite cute. What else? I also told her about what I was doing, and spoiler alert, I told her that a lot of what I saw when I tuned into this home was focused on the pool. And she said, oh, I used to have dreams about that pool. I was like, fuck, here we go. And so she started to tell me about a recurring dream she had where she would be underneath the water in our pool and she'd just feel like she was being pulled down by her hair. My oldest sister didn't actually experience anything in the house. Lucky bitch. She didn't experience anything there. But she said when she was swimming in the pool on her own, she'd always feel really uncomfortable. Or if she was in that outdoor area on her own, she just felt like she was being watched. And it was just a not so nice experience for her. My middle sister doesn't remember feeling anything about the pool at all. She just looked out of her bedroom window one day and saw a young blonde girl in a white nightie standing in the garden below her window. So where her window was in our house, it was like a second level. So she would have been looking down 2 stories to this girl. She said that she sort of saw it, didn't think anything of it, just not until we all talked about what we experienced in this home. Now we're on to me. Yay! I'll talk you through the weird things that I experienced, and then a lot of my experiences draw on visitations from my grandma that passed away before I was born. But other than those, one night, so my bedroom was situated right next to the front door. So it was my bedroom, and then there was the hallway into our garage, and on the other side of that was my mum's bedroom. And one night when I was about 17, I was falling asleep at night, and I could just hear, you know how you can hear someone walking up and down a hallway on carpet, and you can almost hear the imprints of their foot as they walk? I could hear stomping, like heavy stomping. I could hear the sound around each footprint going up and down that hallway into the garage. And I wasn't even asleep at that time. I'm literally getting chills. I wasn't even asleep, and I screamed, and I went and knocked on the door of my mum's bedroom. Her partner was staying at the time, and he got up and checked it out, and there was nothing there. And his dog was sleeping in the garage as well, and the dog just didn't notice anything. So that was a bit of a weird one. I feel like I'm rushing. I also was getting ready for school one day and talking to my mum in our lounge, and we were just about to leave. I would have been about 17 as well in my last year of school, and I apparently just like looked at her, and she said, "Lydia, what's wrong?" because my face had gone white. And I said, "Let's just get in the car, I'll tell you on the way to school." And I'd felt a hand go into the small of my back and just slightly push me. So that happened. Now, when I was in the pool area, I actually spent a lot of time down there because I played tennis, and our house was brick, so I would practice tennis ever since I was around about 8 years old, out on the little area that was sort of next to our pool every day after school. Unless I was jumping on the trampoline. But I would just do that, and I would just always feel like I was being watched. And then if I were to walk around the perimeter of the pool, that feeling would be exemplified. If I was swimming in the pool, another story altogether, as soon as I put my head underwater, would see like 50 faces in my mind's eye screaming and panicking. And it was almost like I could feel like people were trying to get me out of the water. And that was every time I swam on my own. If other people were there, it was fine, but it's just when I was on my own. I think it goes without saying that we all felt watched in that house at night, even in the bathroom. Oh yeah, there is a part of that. Even in the bathroom, even in the lounge, in the family room, didn't matter where you were, you just felt watched. Now, when I was around about 7, I was sleeping, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and in my doorway I saw a woman standing there watching me sleep, and she was in grayscale, like fuzzy black and white, and she looked to be about 24, and she was wearing a wedding dress, and she just started walking slowly into my room, like really slowly, and I was aware of everything that was going on. And then she leaned over, kissed me on the forehead, and walked back to the doorway and watched me until I fell asleep. I don't know how I fell back asleep, honestly, because that was probably the last good sleep I had in that house. After that, I suffered from insomnia. Like, I would literally cry with the bedroom light on, sitting up straight in my bed, just wailing, hyperventilating every night. It would have been horrible for my family. Like, they would have been terrified. My sisters were still young. They would have been like 11 and 13. And then my mum, yeah, it was just hard. So after that, I saw her 2 more times. I was practicing my dancing for an exam in the lounge one day, and I looked up and I saw her face in these white roses. And I think I've got a photo of the roses actually. So I'll put a photo of that up. I also was sitting down once with my back to my bedroom doorway, and I was using like these stickers because my mum was an accountant at this sort of like label factory, and she'd come home with all these really cool stickers sometimes like this big, and they'd just be in block color or some patterns I guess sometimes, but that was rarely. But one day she came home with like mirror stickers, and they were so freaking cool. Like when I Durasealed my books, we'd put like the mirror stickers down as the first layer, and then I don't know, our celebrity crushes and stuff from magazines, and like cut them up and put them on over. Oh, like we had the coolest books in school just because of where my mum worked. But I was sitting on my little desk, and I had this roll. Oh my gosh, I've got my partner's little like physio band, so it kind of looked like this, like actually literally like this, but mirror stickers just across my desk because I was working on Durasealing my books, and I was working on them, and then I just looked up, and in every single sticker there would have been about 12 laid next to each other horizontally in this row. I could see the face of my grandma that passed before I was born. Oh, I missed out a big chunk. The woman who I saw in my doorway when I was 7 was my grandma that passed before I was born. I didn't know who she was until like a few weeks later. I was at my papa's apartment, and he had this table with all these photos on them, and I could see a photo of her from her wedding day when she was 24, and I made the connection immediately. But I'd never really seen what she'd look like younger, because I'd always seen her almost like just before she passed. Like the photos that my dad would always show us were just photos of when she was older. And so in this reflection of these stickers, the face that I saw was exactly the same face as my dad would keep as a photo in his wallet. I'm just trying to think if anything else happened in that house. Oh, when I was 16, my sister moved out, like my elder sister moved out of home and went flatting. And so I wanted to get the hell out of my bedroom because I thought it was haunted. Oh my God, I missed the biggest part of the story. I'll get there in a second. I thought it was haunted. So I moved into her room, and I'd get woken up every morning with 3 knocks on the bedroom wall, like right next to my head with a wall. So I think I only lasted in that room about 2 weeks before I just went back to my other one, because that was kind of scary. But the whole reason we're here today is because when I was about 14, my clairaudience started kicking in. But I didn't know that that was what it was at the time. I just thought I was crazy / schizophrenic. As I was falling asleep at night, I started hearing this young girl's voice say, "It's me, it's Amy," in my ear, like just whispering it. And then I would have recurring dreams of a young girl that had drowned in our pool. Like I could just see her floating in the pool in a navy and white school uniform. I had one other really graphic dream about her being in our bathroom after she'd passed, like with her body. But other than that, I'd hear her say, "It's me, it's Amy," quite a bit. And I don't know if it's connected, but each night as I was trying to fall asleep, I'd feel someone like tickling my face like this, and I'd ask for it to stop and it wouldn't stop. Like I'd say it out loud and in my brain it didn't stop. And so I ended up actually having to wipe my face away like that, and then it would stop like immediately. I just realized that I forgot one of the biggest details about the little girl that I used to hear say her name was Amy in my head before I fell asleep. So Mum had always said that when she moved into the house with my dad, it was a really weird sale. Like the people that had owned it had only lived there 4 years. They'd built the house themselves. And when they moved in, there was no furniture in the house. Everything was gone except for the little wooden letters of children's names on 2 bedroom doors. So these kids' names were on the doors. And I remembered that. And so when I told my sister, my elder sister, about hearing this little girl saying, "It's Amy," in my ear at night. She sort of had the idea of asking Mum if she remembered any of the names that were on the bedroom doors. And when we asked her, she just goes, I remember it was Dale and Amy. And my sister and I just looked at each other like, and she was like, why? And then I had to go and tell her about the dreams I was having of the little girl in the pool. So that's all you need to know. So that is the history of my childhood home. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm going to take you through now to the video diary I took when I drove there in Auckland and tuned in. I'll see you on the other side. I told my two sisters and my mum that I'm going to go to my childhood home now to see what would happen if I tuned in while I'm sitting outside. They think I'm crazy. They're like, Lydia, it's turning dark, it's going to be scary. And I'm just like, I used to live in that house. Like, I had things happen to me in that house while I was living there at night time. So I don't know, maybe I regret it, but I'm excited. I've just pulled over. My house is probably 200 meters away and I'm feeling a little bit nervous. It's a lot darker out here than I remember. And I think like the idea of doing this just sounded so, or like felt so intriguing to me for so long, but like the actual thought of actually doing it is kind of scaring me a little bit. I don't know if I'll get out and walk around at all. I think I'm gonna drive past and then park in the road that's like across from it so that I can look straight in while I try and tune in. But yeah, wish me luck. Okay, I'm looking straight into the house right now. There is someone's car outside, so I kind of don't want to show you. I want to show you their car, but as I pulled in, I just heard this little voice in my head say, I knew you would come back. It's nice to see you. I think sorry, this is the first time I've been here since I was 18, so it's been about 14 years. And like, I left this home as like a girl with freaking insomnia that was terrified of seeing spirits, and now like I'm coming back as a full-time psychic medium. Like, what the fuck is my life? But I think like just being outside here and like it's like all these memories are kind of flooding back, and it's like instead of the memories being in this little safe space in my head, they're actually right in front of me, if that makes sense. Like, all my memories happened like in the house that's like right in front of me right now. I'm looking into one of the places where I saw the spirit of my grandma. I'm going to turn off the light and I'm going to tune in and just see what happens. I hope I can sort of rest my phone up against something. I'll figure it out. Alrighty, so you're leant up against the air conditioning unit in the car. I'm looking out towards the house. I kind of wish I could turn this light off right now because it's kind of distracting. I feel like as soon as I turn the light off, I hear her more. I'm gonna start off with a protection to protect myself. I just heard, am I dangerous? No. I'm just gonna, do something right now to protect myself. I'm hearing you are safe, Lydia. You are safe. You are safe. I feel Sorry, I'm just seeing a lot. I'm hearing. Can I show you what happened? I've got chills. They're like all, oh my god, they're all up my leg. I'm seeing a little girl who's blonde. It looks like she's in her school uniform. It looks like it's a navy and white school uniform. And she's walking around the left side of the pool. I'll try and get a photo of the pool for you. And the feeling I'm getting is that she fell and hit her head and fell into the pool. I'm seeing knots and I'm hearing like it was like 2 hours before they found me. I feel like I'm seeing her in my mind's eye and like she's in that same nightie, but she's like soaking wet as if she got pulled out of a pool. Man, I wish I could go in there. This is so bizarre. It's like she's showing me her being kind of wheeled through the house, like sort of feet first almost. And that might be why there's like energy around that archway, because the archway was right next to our front door. I don't know, maybe that was the last time, the last place she was before she left the house. I'm just asking myself, like, is this real? Like, is this real? Because if not, like, this is a massive thing to allege, you know? I'm just hearing it wasn't my mum's fault. It's like everyone blamed the mum for not watching her. She's saying, I did it every day. Like, she did what she was doing every day. She's saying she keeps the kids safe. Like, whatever kids are there, she keeps them safe. I'm just going to see what else can come through. I might turn off the light. I hope it's okay. I just heard that's better, now I can see you. She's saying, can you see me? She looks like my mum, like how my mum looked when she was that little. And she's nodding, like when I'm kind of questioning, like, do you look like my mum? She's nodding, and I've got shivers again. She's thin and she's got long blonde hair. I wonder if I should tune into photos of the pool and other areas of the house. There was this weird as hell like attic at the, well, like basement underneath the house as well, that you could get through to like, yeah, that you could get to through like this little cupboard. I'm just hearing, you're done now, you're done now, you can go home. I'm like shaking. I'll try, I'll see once more what more can come through. I think the dad was away. Like, I think the mum was there on her own. just hearing you're done for today. Protect yourself, protect yourself. Okay, well, I don't know what I was expecting coming here. I feel like I got a lot. I also feel like I didn't get much at all. It'll be interesting to see if she comes through to me tonight as I'm trying to fall asleep. It'll be interesting to see if I can tune into photos, like family photos that we have. That might be the next step. So, a car's coming in behind me. I think that's my cue to go. It's been about a week since I tuned in, and I'm feeling okay. The night that I went there, I put up extra protection around myself because I was just nervous she'd come through to me, and she never did. It was the same day as my uncle's funeral, and interestingly, he actually came through to me that night, and I was not expecting it at all. It was super brief, didn't even feel anything when I was at the funeral, but he popped in. I don't know why, but it was nice. Felt lucky. But now I've got those photos of my childhood home. I don't know if you'd be interested in it, but I wondered if I could tune into those to see if I could get any more information. I was talking about what had come through for me the next day on a walk with my mum, and I had a little bit more information come through, but I don't know if it's my imagination or not, just trying to make sense of everything. But remember how I said that I had a weird dream of her in the bathroom or in the shower? I had this sort of visual that after she was found, her mum picked her up and took her into the shower and put hot water on her to try warm her up. I don't know if that's linked. I don't know if it's my imagination, but I had that sort of info come through as I was talking to my mum about it. When I told my mum about what I'd experienced there, that's when she told me about her dream of having her hair pulled while she was in the pool. So let me know if you'd like me to tune into the photos as well. I don't know if I'd get any more information, but I feel like I've had enough time to sort of separate myself from what happened. The only thing that I've felt since tuning in is my first night back here in Wellington. I was thinking about her, and as I was falling asleep, I felt something tickle my face, like how I used to when I was a kid. And it didn't stop until I moved my face. So could have been her saying hi. I don't know. Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks a lot. And I don't know, I'm trying to grow my YouTube here. So the biggest thing that can help it at the moment is my viewing hours. I'm trying to get to 4,000. I have 50. So if you just want to play this again from the top on mute, just in the background somewhere, that would help me heaps. You don't even have to subscribe to me. You don't even have to like this. Just replay it again on mute, and that would help a lot. I'm going to do lots more content on here, including house readings, which you guys love. So I'm going to put some photos up of houses, and you can tell me which ones you'd like me to read next. And I will do them on here for you. Okay, bye. Hi, you thought we were done, but we're not. There's more to the story. And that more to the story links into me trying to upload this video yesterday. So I uploaded this yesterday. I get a comment about 10 minutes later saying, Lydia, the first 3 minutes are black. I was like, what the fuck? So I went to have a look. It completely glitched. The first 3 minutes of my YouTube video were black. You couldn't hear the first 3 minutes. And I was just like, why is this happening? This is a little weird. But now I know why. As I was sitting outside the house, tuning in the rental car, I was wondering about if what I was seeing was real or if it was all in my head, if it was all my imagination. So I asked Amy to send me a sign that what I was seeing was true. And when I ask for signs, I ask for something really specific, and I ask for the first thing that pops into my head as I'm saying, please send me a sign. So the first thing that popped into my head when I asked was a big slice of watermelon. And then when I saw that, I was like, no, that's too common a thing. Like, I could see a watermelon at the supermarket the next day, and I wouldn't take that. So I sort of discarded that. And then the next word that came through to me was porcupine. And so I thought, okay, if this is all true, if what I'm seeing is true, please send me a sign of a porcupine within the next 24 to 48, maybe even 36 hours, just to confirm that this is all true. Now, the next day I went back home to Wellington, come home, I'm hungry, open the fridge, big slice of watermelon in there. I'd forgotten I'd bought it, this big fat slice of watermelon. And I was just looking at it, I was like, if I hadn't discarded that sign away, that would be confirmation for me right now. But I didn't want a watermelon sign. I wanted a porcupine, right? Now the next few days go by and I don't see a porcupine, I don't hear a porcupine, it's not in any book I read or any TV show, nothing, okay? The only thing that could maybe count was that as I was feeding my cat lunch, I kind of like get all excited to feed her, and as we're going upstairs, I usually call her Sweetie Pie. I'm like, come on, Sweetie Pie, like let's eat your lunch. But this day after I got home, I called her Porky Pie. I was like, come on, Porky Pie, and I've never called her that. And I said it, and I kind of took a step back. I was like, does this count as porcupine? Like Porky Pie, porcupine from a 9-year-old? Because she was like 9. Don't know. Anyway, a few days go by and I just accept the fact that I didn't get this sign, okay? So either way, I'm going to put what I experienced out there. Who knows? Fast forward to last night, I upload the video, and 10 minutes later I get told that it's glitching, and I'm just like, shit. So I go in, make the video private, and as I'm making the video private, my partner's sitting behind me on the couch, and he's looking at his phone, he's looking at Reels and Instagram, and he's just pissing himself laughing. And he goes, Lyd, you have to see this. And I was like, okay. So I come over, sit right here, and I've got a video of it. And he goes, look at this. And he shows me this video on his phone, and it's of a cat getting professionally groomed, and the person grooming her is singing to her, saying their name over and over. What's the cat's name? Porcupine. Not only was the word porcupine written in the caption, he was saying the word porcupine about 9 times in a 5-second span. And the captions were on the video. So I was hearing porcupine, 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 seeing porcupine, porcupine, porcupine. And I just sat there and I was like, Daniel, pause the video. He was like, what's going on? And I was like, you see how I just uploaded that video onto YouTube about my childhood home? And he goes, yeah. And I was like, I asked for a sign that if everything that happened were to be true, give me a sign of a porcupine. And he was just like, well, fuck. I was like, yeah, that literally happened immediately after I uploaded the video. So I don't know. Part of me is like, we cannot accept the sign because it wasn't within the time period I asked for. But then maybe she couldn't get a porcupine together in that time. Like, what are the chances that just as I make that video private, just as it glitched, he sees that video and is like, Lyd, you have to see this. Typically, he'd just send it to me. He wouldn't be like, stop what you're doing. Come have a look. Anyway, I'm going to put a little part of the video here for you so you can see. It's wild. It's wild. Anyway, I'll actually go for real now, okay? Bye.
Porcupine dance, porcupine dance, porcupine belly dance, porcupine, porcupine, you're
How many
fine.
times are they saying porcupine?
It's not that bad, see? Let's dry you up.
Do you want to come here, Rubia? Roo. Come on. Come on, sweetie. Hi. You're just going to sit there, are you? Okay. Oh, what's happening? What's happening? Ah?